Hey, what's happening, everybody? I've been wanting to do this video for a while to kind of talk about photo and video stuff, everything that I take with me out in the field if I'm on location on a photo shoot or a video shoot. And a lot of these are going to be hunting related or outdoor power equipment related and things of that nature. So that's why the gear that I'm going to show you is kind of more geared toward that industry, but it also will work in other industries and lighting conditions, indoors, outdoors, and stuff like that. Full disclaimer, I am filming this with a Sony a7 III. I have a 16 to 35 G Master lens on it, and I'm using a Rode Video Micro, the little ball small mic for DSLRs. Works real well, and it doesn't require external power. It's powered itself by the camera and through the camera. So that being said, let's get to it. From the picture, it kind of looked like a what's in the box, but it's going to be more of a what's in the bag kind of thing. And I've got two different packs that I use primarily whenever I'm going to be out in the field doing stuff. So let's get right to it. First off, one of the first things that I always have with me at all times is an external power pack. This one is made actually by Dark Energy. It'll hold 10,000. I can usually charge my cell phone, or I can get an extra little bit of juice out of some of my batteries for cameras or drone batteries and that kind of stuff, should I get into that kind of a situation. Sometimes it's good just if you're on a shoot and there's some downtime and you're playing on your phone a little bit. So there's one item. Another item, if anybody can guess what's in there, that's actually toilet paper. You never know when nature calls and you're out in the middle of nowhere, you gotta go. It's nice to have a little emergency reserve of that. Another thing, this is actually a rain fly made from Mystery Ranch. It actually came in handy this past year while I was in Northwest Alberta. There was a situation where it started pouring down rain. I've got all this camera equipment, all these lenses in my pack, and I was able to throw this over my pack real quick and keep everything dry. I got wet, but at least my gear stayed dry. So I definitely recommend having some kind of a rain fly or something like that. All right, now lighting. I actually had a friend of mine turn me on to this company here. This company is called Momin. It's an LED light, and I'm gonna turn it on for you. Super, super bright. What I like about it is it's got the OLED display on the back, and you can actually change that. You can power it up, you can power it down. You also can switch the settings and change your Kelvin to go to a more cooler light or a warmer light. That's really awesome. It comes in this little pouch here. It's got a little chargeable cord that comes with it, and it lasts a really long time. This thing is an absolute must. Moving on. I've got these stored in a little bag from a company called Viam Outdoors. They make some really good game meat bags that are washable. But in this little bag, I'm actually storing a bunch of lens filters. So I've got polarizers and I've got adjustable filters. Let's see, this one actually hasn't been used. This is another adjustable polarizer as well. So I have these in different sizes for my two primary lenses, which, you know what, be a good time to go ahead and get to that right now. My number one lens of all time is going to be a 70 to 200. This is the Sony 70 to 200 2.8. It's the G Master. I love it for doing super tights, getting some really tight focus shots. It's such a crisp lens. It is a heavy lens, but unlike a lot of telephoto lenses, whenever you zoom this one in and out, you actually don't have a telephoto lens that actually comes in and out. And then of course you've got your manual focus up here, running filters on top of that. But love this one. This one, I went ahead and I keep them in Frodo. I believe this is the 701 base plate that I keep on here. It adapts with my fluid heads and things like that. It is a heavy lens, but I will never go on a shoot without this lens. This lens stays on my camera a lot, a whole lot. Like I said, I am filming this with a 16 to 35, And that's kind of been my thing. I like extremely wide angle stuff, and then I like extremely tight stuff. It's that middle of the road stuff, the 35, 50, 70 that I don't primarily use very much. To each their own. Everybody's going to have their own thing that they like. That's just what I like. A 2.8 lens, that's the thing. There's a lot of cheaper lenses that are out there, and I've seen some f4 lenses work really, really well. My thing is, I may not always shoot everything in a 2.8 aperture, but it's kind of like this. If you have a Yugo could go 90 miles an hour, but you're really having to mash the gas and you're having to just beat the heck out of it to get it to go there. Whereas a Ferrari will go 100 miles an hour effortlessly. That's kind of my analogy for lenses. If a lens has the ability to go to 2.8, you might only be shooting in 4, or you might shoot it in 5, but it does it just that much easier and that much faster and that much better glass, just quality, crisp, of the end result. So there's that. All right. This is your standard reflector. Picked this up on Amazon. It was super, super cheap, maybe $20 with shipping, and maybe $14 like Prime free day shipping. But nonetheless, you can also just use the windshield reflectors that you put inside the windshield in the summer to kind of keep the heat out. Those work the same way. I mean, essentially, as long as it's silver or white, you'll get a little bit of light reflection, and sometimes you can put this under the subject if you want to decrease some of the shadows. If somebody's got a ball cap on or a cowboy hat, sometimes that comes into play. But with this kind of a small profile, it fits down inside my pack, and it weighs nothing. So it's always nice to have whenever you're out in the field. You may not know what your lighting conditions are going to be, right? I'm going to get to some of the smalls now. I have a real small, low pro bag that's just small enough to hold the body, and I have a lot of these tiny little accessories in there. One, a brush. You get in some bad conditions and maybe you drop a camera, drop a lens, and you need to brush some stuff off. This is really, really nice to have. Always an extra SD card to have with you. These are like some lens cleaning towelettes, kind of like whenever you eat, if you eat ribs or chicken wings or something like that, and a restaurant has these things. These things are nice because they're actually with like an alcohol, dries really fast, pre-moistened, so you don't need anything extra, and those are always nice to have. I keep an Allen wrench because typically what I do is on my body, I run the Peak Design base plate. And if you've never seen this, Peak Design, I suggest you get one of these. This thing, by twisting these knobs, basically you can separate this, and what it's going to do is it's going to slide in on the strap of a backpack strap, and then you tighten it back down and you can put it wherever you want on there. Your camera actually slides down in here, and then to release it, you're just pushing this red button. Push the red button, pull your camera off there. Put it on there, it locks in, it's not coming off. I've never had one fall off. Jumping around, climbing around, crawling, wherever, it's not coming off. But it's super nice to have that on there where you can put your body on there if you need to get both your hands free to do a lens swap, or you don't want to set your equipment down. And then that way, if you're just hiking, sometimes you've got to grab something, you're climbing up, and you've got both your hands free, and you can just put your camera right on there. Whenever you need it, push a button, pull it out, it's there, it's handy. I definitely suggest one of these. This is the Peak Design. This one's actually an older model. I probably need to upgrade. I think there's like a version 3 out there now. This is, I believe this one was version 2, but it's called Peak Design, the Capture. Spare battery. Do not go anywhere without charged spare batteries. One of the beauties of the Sony a7 III is that's one of the biggest improvements that they made is battery life versus like the a7S II and previous models. The batteries on those, well, simply they suck. I know buddies that are still operating those cameras and they're taking 4 and 5 batteries on a 1-day shoot. I'm doing 2 and 3 day shoots with the same battery. So I only have one spare. That's all that I've ever needed. Eventually I'll get back to a campsite where I can recharge things. If I was going to be on a remote location and I knew I was going to be gone for 10 or 12 days, well, then I'd go ahead and pick up 2 or 3 more of these, and I'd have them with me. Lens caps, spares. The reason why this one stays in the extra bag is because always one lens is mounted on the body at all times. But should you ever get in a situation where you need to take that off, this is where that spare goes. Microfiber cloths, lens cleaning cloths, you can get some of them with a spray or an anti-fog spray. These are always nice to have. Again, weighs nothing, takes up no space whatsoever, and you pop that thing out and you can wipe off your lens. Nothing will ruin a photo shoot or a video shoot like anything than coming back to edit and you realized you had a big black speck or a smudge or something on your glass and it just ruins your photo. Have one of those. These are old school. I'll be honest, I don't use this one very much, but it is another brush. They used to like give these things away a lot of times whenever you bought certain camera accessories or equipment, but nonetheless, there's one of those. A spare base plate. Again, all of my fluid heads currently are the Manfrotto 701 style. So I keep an extra base plate. You never know when I need to rig something else up. I am starting to look at the Manfrotto B-Free, a little bit smaller plate, and just to kind of get rid of some of this bulk and stuff like that. But whatever base plate, whatever fluid head, tripod you're running, make sure you at least have one extra one. You never know when you might want to attach it to something else. Cages. This is actually a cage that I picked up through Amazon. It's a good cage. It was priced right. I bought an extra cold shoe adapter. It's got one here, and then you can still access the one on the camera. I like this one. I can access my battery. The thing that I don't like is I can't change out SD cards. So if I had an SD card that got full or it malfunctions, I have to take everything apart to get access to that, to be able to make that change. So I will be getting rid of this and going with a company like Small Rig or something like that. So another thing that I take with me every time, atmosphere aerosol, special effect in a can. Super nice. If you have a lot of wind, it doesn't work as well. But if you're in a situation where you're in an enclosed environment or it's not a windy day, this will capture and it'll make lights a lot more pronounced. And then it allows you to do a lot of cool things in post, with that through your highlights and stuff like that. But I love this stuff. Always keep a fresh can of atmosphere aerosol with me. You can make some really dramatic stuff. Light rays that are coming through a room or light rays coming through the barn slats or something like that. It's super, super cool. All right, this is a little bag from Mystery Ranch. I believe this one is one of their Zoid cell packs, but so this is an external monitor. Comes with battery charger. It's got a little lens hood and HDMI cables, but I like this thing a lot. With the DSLRs, sometimes you have smaller viewfinders that are on the back. This one is adjustable. I can turn it and I can tilt it. So let's say I'm running a camera like the A7 III and it doesn't have a fold out screen and I'm self-filming something. I can actually mount this on top and I can verify that I'm in frame, I'm in focus, and everything is going smoothly. So this is called, this one is Fuel World, and I will include a link to this one in the comment or in the comments description section of this post, along with I'll include as many links to as many of these products as I possibly can. In full disclosure, I do have an Amazon affiliate program going, so I will be including some of those Amazon links as well. And if you should happen to go there and make a purchase, I get a small little prize. It's not a whole lot, but it does add up and it all helps and it keeps the train rolling. So This was priced really, really well. There are some companies out there that have some touchscreen models and things like that that are a little more expensive. This one was priced at around $170 versus $400, and I find a lot of value in that, and I've been very, very happy with it. Mic cables. These things are notorious for getting a kink in them or getting damaged, or the coating gets a cut in it or something like that. I always make sure I keep at least one mic cable with me at all times. And then, of course, I have some of my base plates. This is for my DJI Ronin. This has to go on the camera to fit right, and then this base plate will attach to that. Now, again, this is based off of the Manfrotto 701 style, but this one has little marks on it, and it's got little, I don't know if it's, I guess it looks like it's probably centimeters. Yeah, looks like centimeters. Nonetheless, I've got markings on here preset to exactly where I need to be for my camera with the 16 to 35 to be perfectly balanced in that DJI Ronin. Something else that always is in my pack is, these are from Hunter Safety Systems. They're called the Talon, but they're little screw ins in the tree. If I'm going to be filming or photoing something in the tree, then I always have extra so I can hang packs or hang gear. I might even hang a lens or something like that, just to help make things easily accessible. But I always keep a pocket full of these things. I mean, I'll have 5 or 6 at any given time. Now, the cool part, to go to the packs. The 2 main packs that I run the most. The Mystery Ranch Coolie 25. The first thing that I love about this pack is all of this stretchy stuff on the outside. And this is the reason for it. Anything that I'm going to be grabbing or that I might want to grab quickly, I can shove in the outside of this pack. So I've got these lens filters, and I want to shove those over here on the outside. I store all of this stuff that I possibly can. I'll store everything on the outside of this pack, and I can shove stuff in there. Now, no zippers, it's secure, it's not going anywhere. On the top side, you do have kind of the top hood section, and that's where a lot of this stuff goes. These extra batteries or these extra mic cables and dusters and things like that. I can keep all these smalls up top. And again, this is really, really nice with the peak design. I'm making a mess. This was really nice with the peak design because I can actually fit it through this webbing and not have it to go around the padding. And again, I can adjust this and I can put it wherever I want. So the Mystery Ranch Coolie 25 is one that I really, really, really enjoy. Another item here I forgot to mention before I go to the next pack. Move this out of the way. This is another pack, a little bag from Mystery Ranch. This one actually has padding, so if I'm traveling in the truck or on a plane, I'll have my drone in a hard case. Once I'm done and I know where I'm going to be, then I transition over to a pack like this. My drone can go inside there, the remote can go down inside there, and I can zip this up, and it's a lot smaller footprint to go inside of a pack. Now, the cool thing about this thing, whenever you're done with your drone, and this is a DJI Mavic Pro, that's the drone that I use, is these little panels on the inside. They fold down, which then allows you to fold this thing a lot smaller, so it packs away conveniently. On to another pack that I take with me a lot. This is the Mystery Ranch Treehouse. Obviously much, much, much bigger pack, but still the thing that I like about it is the stretchy neoprene stuff on the outside. So anything that I need to throw in here that I need to grab quick, I can do so. Big, huge pockets on the outside. I can still strap extra gear, a jacket, or something like that. But with this top load, humongous big top pouch right here to put all of those smalls in that I need to get to quickly. And then things that are bigger is I can go down inside here, and it's got little pouches for smalls, but I can put lenses and I can put the drone down inside there. Again, this is a much bigger pack. So if I'm going to be a little more remote, or I know that I'm going to need a little more, a little bit more gear, then this is the ideal pack for that. So be sure to check out the Mystery Ranch Treehouse along with the Cooley 25. Again, this isn't quite everything that I take with me, but this is about 95% of what I'll take with me on a typical photo shoot or a video shoot. Back at the truck, I will have things like a hard drive. I'll start dumping stuff off of SD cards, putting it onto a hard drive, cleaning my SD cards each night, and recharging batteries and make sure that everything's good to go for the next day. So those are a few things that I'll take. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them in the comments and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it.